This is M-Dog20, Matt Cross, and you're listening to True Heel Heat.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody. Hey, everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Heel Heat. And I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for our WWE Money in the Bank 2024 preview. And we got an all-star panel here to discuss it. First up, I told y'all after our Clash at the Castle preview that was so much fun, and my face hurt from laughing so much that I would have to call her back for the next WWE PLE preview. The one and only co-host of Coexisting with Rob and Maggie over on Fightful Overbooked, the one, the only, Maggie is here.
Hi, sweetie. Thank you for having me on today. I'm so excited. How are you guys?
I am very excited because we got some Canadian love here with us today to discuss Money in the Bank in Toronto, the face and the ace over at Love Wrestling CA, Mr. Spencer Love. How
Take
you doing,
it.
good sir?
I'm good. I'm real good, man. It's been a good week so far. Like you said, some Canadian content coming your way courtesy of Toronto, Ontario, Canada this weekend. So I'm real good. I got no complaints. It's going to be a great card. I like a 5-match card. I'm psyched. Thanks for having me, man. And it's always good to see Maggie.
Absolutely, absolutely. You should have heard her response or saw her response when I said Spencer's joining us. She's like, "Oh my God, Penny!
Oh,
Penny!
give me cavities. You guys are so sweet."
We try our best. But we appreciate y'all for joining us as well. If you're watching us live here on the YouTube channel or Facebook or Twitter, we appreciate y'all. If you're watching us on demand, we appreciate that support as well. Show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You could drop the thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. And like Maggie's doing, you can show some love in the live chat with a comment. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you could send a super chat donation. We always appreciate the love and support in that way, always. And if you're watching us on Facebook, you can drop a heart, a like, an angry emoji, a happy emoji, however Money in the Bank is making you feel this Saturday in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I know, Spencer, you got some big stuff going on out here. You got a watch party and stuff. You want to get some plugs in very early on here?
Yeah, man. We've got a lot of content that'll be coming out.
Yeah. Did you have friends?
I mean, it's rare that I get the opportunity to say I do. So, no, we're going to have a lot of great content coming out from Toronto. We're going to have some content coming out as well from the GCW show taking place there, as well as hopefully the IWS show taking place in Montreal on the 7th. So, lots of great stuff. If you want to follow us, all of the great stuff from Love Wrestling can be found wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome contents created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA.
Absolutely. So if you not got a ticket to go inside of the Scotiabank Arena, I always get mixed up with these arena changes. But Scotiabank Arena, go to the Love Wrestling watch party. I love a good watch party. Be around people that love wrestling just as much as you. But yes, we're here to discuss some.
What's that like?
You felt it at All In last year, Maggie. Don't front.
I'm about to find out.
And I'm gonna fucking be there this year as well. So there.
Look, we can actually meet each other in person. Hopefully AEW hits me up. Because last year they gave me a ticket to All In, but they let me know like 2 weeks in advance. I'm actually going to be in the UK this year. So if AEW is watching, please send me some love again. Come on, hook me up. I appreciate it. But yes, I get to meet you in person. It's going to be a good time. We got in the chat Eric Isaacs already giving us his picks. He's saying he got the new Bloodline. Seth wins back the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew and Tiffany wins Money in the Bank. We got our good brother G Loke, who just celebrated a birthday, saying, "What it do? I'm ready. Let's go." We got yes, happy birthday to G Loke. We got Love Wrestling in the chat with Pluggo here. Thank you, Pluggo. Saying, look at all these wonderful people and Spencer. Kidding. Love you, Spenny.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. We're going to be talking later today. I've got some words for you, Pluggo.
Oh, you're done, Pluggo. You're done, sir. You're done. We also got here Follow B. He says, all I have to ask from this show is for Solo to pin Cody. We're gonna get into that for sure. We also got Corey in the chat. He says, as if being in the UK wasn't already on my bucket list, making it to All In at Wembley all the more an incentive. There you go. Come on down. I want to meet all these wonderful people.
The more the merrier. Wonderful.
Absolutely. We got to fill up that stadium just as much as they did last year. But
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Listen up. If I get the opportunity to actually carry a bag with me at Wembley, I'm going to be so over the top filled with joy because we couldn't have bags there because there's 73,000 people. Are you expecting us to check on 73,000 bags? You're such a narcissist. And I'm like, I have to have somewhere to put all my fucking stuff. Like, what is this? Nazi Germany? Like, what?
I hate all the bag rules at these arenas. Like I had to be told in Chicago that I couldn't bring a bag with me into, I think it was United Center last year for All Out. Like I was like, they were like, oh, leave your bag at your friend's place. I was like, you can't even get into arena. I might understand the stadium if the arena was different, but arenas too? Getting too much.
And they don't even have a wardrobe where you can put your stuff in, because like this means that you only go out to this event and then go home. They're basically telling you that, because like if you're a woman, this is a total guy thing, I get it, but like if you're a woman, you want to have some stuff with you. It might be this part of the month for you. I don't know. And if you don't want to wear tampons and pads in your bra because like it's not 20th century anymore, like it's fucking sucks, okay? Like justice for people who are used to wearing bags, okay? This is fucking bullcrap. Let's move on to the show.
No, I always love a good Maggie rant, and we got one.
Within the first 10 minutes, too. Like, I don't know if that's a new record, but that's got to be, like, in contention.
No, I think she got it 6 minutes in last time. But
okay, fair enough.
At least, okay, think about it. At least
we're off pace then, Maggie.
It's on me. Okay, I apologize. It's on me. And this is me having eaten, and I'm off today. I ate 3 bowls of macaroni.
Why. That's why you took
I
another
ate
3
3
minutes
bowls
to
of
get
macaroni. If I was working or on an empty stomach, I was, hey, Maggie, how are you? What the fuck do you mean? How am I? Let's just get on with the show.
Let's get on with the Yes, Money in the Bank this Saturday from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We love to kind of gauge everyone's excitement for the show. So, Spencer, I'll start with you. 0 to 10, where is your excitement, your buzz level for this Saturday show?
I'm always excited for Money in the Bank. I know Zach doesn't like the Magic briefcase. I love it. I'm a huge fan of a ladder match as is. The Money in the Bank contract, maybe has lost a little bit of prestige over the last couple of years with maybe some failures in the cashing department, but I'm always psyched. I'm really, really excited for the World Heavyweight Championship match. I think that Damian Priest and Seth Rollins are going to absolutely tear the house down. That's going to be a blast. The Bloodline and the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens match, take it or leave it. But overall, I'm really, really excited. I'd say a solid 7, if not an 8. I'll give her on the number scale.
I'll get in between that, and I'll say a 7.5. 7.5 is my excitement for Money in the Bank. Maggie, where are you at?
7.5 is pretty right. I mean, I like Penny said, I'm always here for Money in the Bank pay-per-views, but the pay-per-view itself, then after the matches are done, the ladder matches, like it's all downhill from there, because exactly like Spencer said, it's kind of lost all its magic from there from here on. Then I hope that, because like this is the first Money in the Bank under Triple H, so let's hope that it gets handled better from now on. And I kind of wish it was the other way around. I kind of wish Heatwave was on Saturday and Money in the Bank was on Sunday, because it's an Eastern European thing. I watch pay-per-views in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm working Sunday morning, which means that I have to get up. Yeah, which means I have to get up at 6 a.m. just so I can watch the show before I go to work. And that fucking sucks. Which means on Monday, I'm working the night shift, so I'll be able to sit down and watch Heatwave of all pay-per-views. Like, I'd rather it be the other way around. Like, and
I don't blame you there.
Yeah, I'm sure Heatwave will be fine, really. But like, I prefer Money in the Bank because I love ladder matches. I always get pissed off when people automatically refuse to believe how ladders work, and they'll just, okay, so my foot is here. How do I climb with the other one? Oh, come on. It's stupid.
Safety first. Got to be careful when you're climbing those things.
Well, do you even like wrestling? What?
Got to be cognizant of the safety aspect in a ladder match, okay?
I understand.
A lot of moving parts, control the controllables.
Yeah. Okay, that is the words of a person who's running a show, okay? And that is the only reason why you think that.
Me?
Yeah, this guy.
Never.
But I agree with that. And I haven't heard anybody say that, but I do agree that if you're going to do like these WWE big weekends with an NXT PLE, the NXT PLE should come before the main roster PLE. The reason why people are going to the town is for Money in the Bank. So that's how you should end the weekend off, because I know certain people that are going to Toronto and they're leaving on Sunday morning. So they're not even going to stay for a heat wave. So I agree with that.
Well, it's usually the case. I don't know why they made the decision to sort of flip on this end of things, but like they usually do. The last time I was out in Toronto was, I think it would have been SummerSlam 2019 for a pay-per-view out there. And they had the NXT takeover there on the Saturday. And what was it? Yeah, SummerSlam on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why they made the switch, but say, Livy.
Hey, the new WWE, the Triple H era. But I believe this is the second Money in the Bank, because last year, well, you are kind of right. You are kind of right, because last year Triple H was still around. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up? We got our fourth member of the panel.
Yes.
He's been a very good boy. So he's earned that.
He deserves his camera time.
He deserves his screen time. Yep.
My daughter will pop in here and be the fifth member. She'll come in at some point.
Oh, okay. I have no one.
Well,
Yeah,
let's get into the show. We're going to start off with one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Why not the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, as we're going to have Chelsea Green, who picked up a victory over Bianca Belair and I believe Michin. You got Zoe Stark, who was the last person to qualify for the matchup this past Monday against Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile. Naomi got the win over Indy Hartwell and Blair Davenport. Tiffany Stratton picked up a win on Friday night to qualify against Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae. You have Lyra Valkyria, who picked up a victory over Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. And finally, Io Sky, who won the Money in the Bank ladder match last year, qualified by defeating Zelina Vega and Kiana James. This is a very interesting Money in the Bank, as you know. You have Io Sky, who is, the former Money in the Bank holder from last year, and we got our fifth member here. Is that CP3O? CP3O, or what is it?
It's R2D2.
Oh, R2D2. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No cigar. Close.
Hey, I got his tag team partner. I called him by his tag team partner's name. But Maggie, who do you have in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and what do you think about this field here?
Okay, so let me just get it out of the way. Tiffany Stratton. I want to see a Money in the Bank briefcase that's pink, and with the Barbie, font, say Money in the Bank, Tiffy in the Bank, or whatever. So I just saw that this match is sponsored by The Boys. I'm
see that. Oh wow, yes.
Yeah, so that is a wonderful opportunity because it's in Canada, correct? So Tiffany Stratton has to wear the American flag and be dressed like a Homelander, because I understand that Zoe Stark is also blonde, but Tiffany
Isn't that Cody
Stratton,
Rhodes' gimmick?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Cody's got her.
Dressing like Homelander?
he's not gonna do that because his match isn't sponsored by The Boys. So there.
Maybe he comes out in a Canadian Homelander costume.
How would
Hey,
that
all
work?
these other countries love him so
don't
much,
know.
so.
Yeah, so Tiffany, I'm really looking forward to this match. I kind of feel like I'm more interested in the women's Money in the Bank, the match itself, because in the men's Money in the Bank, I'm interested in CM Punk and Drew. It's not about the briefcase with the men for me. It's about a whole different thing. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton.
I am going to agree with you. I've called for Tiffany to win this since Backlash, and they've done things that have made me believe even more that she's going to win with her aligning with the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. And my booking has been for the past month and a half. Tiffany allows Nia to beat the hell out of Bayley at SummerSlam, and then she cashes in the matchup and takes advantage and pins Bayley to become the women's champion. That's my booking, how I would do it. I want to see Tiffy in the bank as well with the pink briefcase. But Spencer, you got a couple of other good contenders with Canada's own Chelsea Green, who's been getting a lot of popularity, a lot of momentum online as people believe she should win the Money in the Bank briefcase. What do you think about this field, and who do you have with it?
I completely agree with him. I've been calling Chelsea Green for the better part of a year on my end of things too. I'm as far as the field goes, and I'll say the same thing about the men's Money in the Bank. I really love the fact that they've gone back to people who can really use it to level up, if that makes sense. I love the Money in the Bank briefcase really being used to elevate people to that next level, to the heavyweight championship, to the, whatever you want to call the tippy top. And I really think both fields this year have thank you. I really, really think that both of the men's and the women's Money in the Bank have that. But yeah, I've been pulling for Chelsea Green, and I really do think it's going to be Chelsea Green, especially now that you're seeing Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax aligning. I love where you come from, SP3, but I think Nia Jax is going to take the title there at SummerSlam. I don't love the idea of both WWE's biggest female heels, in my opinion, right now, and Nia and Tiffany feuding over, the women's championship after Nia wins it if Tiffany has the briefcase. And I know that wrestling's not necessarily a meritocracy, but Chelsea Green, since returning a couple of years ago, I don't think there's ever been a time where Chelsea Green hasn't been one of the most entertaining parts of WWE, to be quite blunt with it. And, you know, I love me some Tiffany Stratton. I certainly wouldn't be complaining if she won it, but she's less than a year into the main roster. I think she's got lots of time to win a Money in the Bank briefcase, or, you know, again, she's got a longer road ahead of her. I think with Chelsea Green after the last 2 years and where she could take that briefcase, like, I'd love it. I think that it would be a great call. I think that she would be someone who would be a great champion. She'd be great with the briefcase in the way that I think that Carmella, when she held it for nearly the year, was just smarmy and fantastic in that role. So yeah, I'm going Chelsea Green for a number of reasons. A lot of the same reasons you can make for Tiffany Stratton, to be honest with you, but chalk it up to personal bias. Who gives a shit?
and you make great points. The other great point for a Chelsea Green win is that you're going to have other Canadians on this show, and I don't think the other major Canadian is going to win, and we'll get into that very shortly here. So it would make sense for them. WWE did it at Clash at the Castle, where they was like, okay, we're going to have all these Scottish people lose, and then we're going to have Alba and Isla win the tag team titles. So they could say, we're going to have all these other Canadians lose, and then give Chelsea the Money in the Bank.
Well, they can make amends for it at Heatwave and give the championship to Ethan Page. So
they could. I'm looking for that.
You won't catch me frustrated with that.
I'll be so over the moon. The guy deserves it so much. I love Ethan Page. But Chelsea Green has been worth every single penny so far.
Yeah.
Every single.
Maximize your minutes, but Boggs here, he got the odds right now. That's insane that Chelsea has the second lowest odds to win. I would think that she would be second, right behind Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
put
Lyra
some smart money down, friends. Put some real smart money down.
I think that Lyra is the last person who win this Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
Io also.
Yeah, you brought up Scottish people earlier there too, SP3. Like, man, are people forgetting that this is a no DQ match and Piper Niven's a friggin' hoss in herself, right? Like, there's an X factor there too. I know rightfully Tiffany's getting a lot of shine for the new partnership with Nia Jax, but like, if you think Piper Niven won't be a factor in this in some way, shape, or form, I got I got something to sell you.
We also got a super chat donation here from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. As always, he says, I know it sounds crazy, but I think Naomi may win because every time she's with Bayley, she's loving her title. I mean, I think it's more because I think everyone needs a friend now in WWE. With the way Triple H books, you're either in a faction or you have clear-cut friends for you to do tag team matches with on TV. So I don't think it's more of her loving the title. I think that it's just the association that she has with Bayley. But I don't see Naomi. I understand why Naomi has the least odds to win this one because it doesn't feel. I feel like she's more concerned with. They're probably going to have her feud with Blair Davenport on TV more than winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with you at all.
I think we said before we got another big Canadian on the card, and it's a big weekend for him as Thursday he's going to be hosting his very own comedy show, and then come Saturday he will be defending the Intercontinental Championship as Sami Zayn goes one-on-one with Braun Breaker. This is a part of Braun Breaker's overarching story since he's been drafted to Monday Night Raw, and he has been on this path of destruction, taking out jobbers, and then he took out Ricochet with a big old power slam on a car, stretching him out all the way out of WWE. He took out Ilya Dragunov for a number of weeks, and then he's set his sights on the Intercontinental Championship. Despite having matches with Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus, he got through them, took both men down, and now he's have his sights firmly on Sami Zayn, who made the challenge to Braun for here at Money in the Bank, and Braun took him down a notch on Monday with 2 spears, showing his dominance. So Wrestling 101 says the guy who's on top on the Go Home show usually isn't going to win here, but is WWE going to kind of have Sami Zayn retain and end this path of destruction for Braun Breaker? Are we going to get a DQ finish, or will Braun win the Intercontinental Championship? Maggie, What have you thought about the build to this matchup? Who do you have?
I don't know. It's okay. So I love the fact that Sami Zayn found Braun Breaker backstage and he made the challenge himself. I love that because I kind of feel like it puts them both over because Sami Zayn wants to defend the championship against people who are truly, on a different level. And it puts over Braun Breaker because how good it is that a champion wants to fight you and not the other way around. I like this. It's been Braun Breaker's thing to, run around the ring and do, the spear stuff. I honestly have no idea who wins here. And I love the fact that I have no idea. Because both people are extremely over. I don't know where Sami Zayn goes after this. Either way, if he's champion or not, because he kind of feuded with Chad Gable for like 13 months. I know it's been 2 or 3, but it kind of feels longer.
Yeah.
I don't know where he goes either way. If he retains, what do you do with him after? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna say that he's gonna retain. I hate Braun Breaker's music. I hate.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
It's
I
so
hate-
bad. It's like my kids have a Fisher Price piano and they're just pressing keys, but it's
Random
not
keys.
animal noises. It's just random barking and rock guitars and drums. Oh my God. It's
It's
the
so
only
bad.
thing that hurts him
It's
right now. It's the
so
only thing.
bad.
It's
You can
it's
say
really,
that
it's
about
really
so
bad.
many people. It's so
And I
bad.
understand that some people are so apathetic nowadays that they're like, is it me or does Braun Breaker's theme kind of grows up on me? And I'm like, no, it's you. It's
It's
crap.
entirely only you.
It's entirely you. You should feel so bad about it. I mean, go home and make some excellent life choices, like punching drywall and putting and put something in your ear, like really jam it up there. So it's no, it
Tell
kind
us
of
how you really
ruins.
feel, Maggie.
Okay, listen. Wrestling themes are extremely important to me because I'm a music person.
Yep.
And the theme itself can make me like the wrestler even more.
Yep.
I don't agree with a lot of new themes nowadays. Excuse me, but I do not like Mercedes Monet's new music.
No.
No, it's not for me. It's really not. But it is miles ahead of Braun Breaker's theme, okay? I can tolerate Monet's music. I want to put a frappe machine in my eyes and swirl them around every time I hear Braun Breaker's theme. So
All
please
right.
change it. It's it makes me choose Sami Zayn over Braun Breaker right now. So there you go.
Okay.
It's all on the theme. Fuckers, change the theme.
I don't know, Maggie, but it sounds like you don't like Braun Breaker's theme.
I don't think she's a fan, SP3. I don't think she likes
I
his
don't
theme
know.
at all.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Spencer, what do you think about Sammy versus Braun? What do you think about the build? Do you have any opinions on Braun Breaker's theme? And who do you have winning?
I think Braun's winning it, and I hate saying that. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. I don't think anything's been wrong with the build. I like Braun Breaker. I love me some Sami Zayn. I just don't know why it isn't clicking with me, but I don't mind Braun Breaker at all. I think that this is one of those things, and actually, to tie it back to the Money in the Bank briefcase, it feels too early for Braun Breaker to be challenging for a title,
Yes.
Because if he wins it by or wins the match by DQ or loses the match by DQ, okay, that just for me feels like it slows some momentum. If he wins the title, it feels too early. If he loses clean, I think it's silly for him to lose clean this early in his run with WWE. Yeah, so I'm calling Braun Breaker. I don't know how much I like Braun Breaker, Intercontinental Champion. It kind of makes me feel sad to say, but it is what it is. That's wrestling. It breaks your heart more often than not. So I'm going Braun Breaker. Also because I don't think Sami Zayn's going to be Intercontinental Champion when he teams with Roman Reigns and the Usos at War Games.
Agree with you there. See, we're on the same page there. I think the honorary Uso is going to reunite with the OG bloodline for sure. I think that I think we're finally going to get what I've been calling for. I think for 2 PLEs, a DQ finish. And I think that Sami Zayn gets the win because Braun Breaker kicks too much ass and gets himself disqualified. It's the fact that Braun.
I hate that. I hate that idea. Why does Sami Zayn just get his ass kicked in Canada? Chad Gable did it a couple of months ago. It was great. Why would we want to go back to the well with that one again?
It's the annoying theme, okay? Braun Breaker's been listening to his theme for like
I hate this
7 months now, and he goes out and during that stupid ass theme, and he's already pissed off. What do you want from the guy? It's not.
I want him to not be our Intercontinental Champion. And again, I like Braun Breaker. I just don't. I don't want it. I do not want.
I don't wanna.
I want Braun Breaker to win the Intercontinental Championship. I think I've been invested in the path of destruction, and I want him to get something out of this. They've been building it up for 2 months since he got drafted to Monday Night Raw. His whole path of destruction started because they didn't put him in the King of the Ring. Now he finally has the opportunity. I think that the right move is to have him win, but I don't know if they're going to make that right move, and that's why I'm going with a DQ finish, because I feel like they're just going to prolong it for a month and then have him get the win at SummerSlam. Unfortunately. But yes, I have all the Canadians losing. I'm sorry, Spencer. I'm sorry.
Thanks, SP. Appreciate you.
We got the match. Like Canada. We got the match that a couple of people in the chat already were saying they're looking forward to. It's a 6-man tag team matchup, but we don't know the exact members of the second team. But it is going to be Cody and his super friends. This time they're not going against the Judgment Day, but this time he is teaming with his old legacy brother-in, Randy Orton, as well as his good friend that helped him hook up with the Young Bucks when he left WWE, Kevin Owens, as he faces the Bloodlines. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu are all here. I don't know which ones. We'll figure it out when we get to Toronto, I guess. But this is basically playing off of Cody's long-standing feud with the Bloodline, as well as Kevin Owens, who's been feuding with the Bloodline since 2020. Randy Orton got taken out by the Bloodline in 2022, but it was more recently that this new era of the Bloodline with Solo Sikoa as the head of the table, as the tribal chief, has targeted Cody Rhodes following his win against AJ Styles at Clash at the Castle in the I Quit matchup. It was Solo who confronted him. He got jumped by Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga, which led to Orton and Owens coming out to even the odds. And then we had Jacob Fatu make his debut just a couple of weeks back on SmackDown, destroying all of the baby faces here. It led to a huge brawl in Madison Square Gardens with Kevin Owens with a swanton out of the stands like he was Jeff Hardy as they laid out. And then freaking Nick Aldis, to snitch, gonna hook up with the NYPD and get them escorted out of the building. At least they weren't arrested. I'll give them that. But they were escorted out the building, which led to Solo's Bloodline acknowledgement ceremony, which was one of the best segments of wrestling television this year, as Paul Heyman put on an all-time performance with lacking sleep, red eyes, crying as he told Solo that he will not acknowledge him as his tribal chief, and led to Paul Heyman being taken out. So there's a very new era of the Bloodline. No Wise Man, no Roman Reigns. We are going to hear a bunch of "We Want Roman" chants definitely in Toronto. But what have you thought about the build up to this matchup, Spencer? And who do you have winning on Saturday?
Okay, so new Bloodline's winning. I think for the last 4 years, you're probably betting pretty silly money if you're not betting the Bloodline to win, regardless of if it's the new era Bloodline, Roman Reigns Bloodline, whatever. I don't know though. Like I'm kind of tired of Cody Rhodes like feuding with Solo or feuding with the Bloodline. It's like if you were to kick the ass of the biggest bully in school and then fight his little brother, like that's what this has been for the last little bit. You know, you've overcome the Bloodline. Why are they still kicking around? You know, I'm sure it's going to be a great match. I would personally just give me Fatu and Kevin Owens in the ring for like 20 minutes and then hit the finish, brother. Like, that's it. That's all I'm aiming for. Yeah, new Bloodline wins.
See, Maggie, what about you? What have you thought about the build? Who do you have winning?
So first of all, let me say just how disappointed I am in you, sweetie. That as a fellow South Park, no Penny.
Oh, good. I'm just used to people being disappointed in me.
I know.
Yeah, I was like,
it's a trigger reaction.
I know. Okay,
I'm so disappointed in you. Okay.
So as a fellow South Park guy, you should have called them the super best friends. Come on. It's
yeah, that's true. That is true.
It's legitimately right there. So
I'm disappointed in myself too now.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Now we're all happy. Yeah, the new Bloodline is winning. Absolutely 100%. I don't know what's the deal with them not just saying who the third member is for the Bloodline. I don't know if it's a legitimate visa issue or they're doing it for a whole different situation. I'm not aware of that, and I will never claim to be aware of that because I suppose it's none of our business. So whatever they give us, I'll be absolutely okay with it. I enjoyed the crap out of Paul Heyman's performance this past Friday. That's why I asked on Twitter, has anyone given an Oscar to the guy yet? Because I kind of feel like he deserves one. So good. And I remember him being exactly this good when he was feuding with CM Punk back in the day. And he got his ass kicked on the top of Hell in a Cell. Yeah. So Paul Heyman's always been good at this because I don't know. I kind of feel like he earns his money that way. So if you're good at your job, just give me all your just give him all your money and all of the sacks there. Yeah, you can give me it too. So I'm concerning the build towards this match. Spencer was right. You beat Roman Reigns and now you're messing around with I know what they're thinking of, because Paul Heyman is actually still the one who makes this interesting because Solo goes around and gets like a lot of people from here and there, which the WWE universe may not be familiar with. They might not watch MLW or New Japan or anything else that like all the the other companies. So Paul Heyman is the one who's making it interesting. He's like, why are you hiring thugs? Like, we do background checks. They don't pass them. And I'm like, thank you for making this interesting because otherwise it wasn't. I know who these people are, but I don't give a fuck. Like, what? Apart from them being bound by blood, it had... Okay, so why don't you ask the cast of all the movies that you watched, all the TV series like the OC, the Vampire Diaries, and whatever, and so on and so forth. What has blood have to do with true friendship, honor, and whatever? It has zilch to do with that. So yes, the Bloodline, obviously. Where are you going, SP3?
I'm going to make it unanimous. I'm going with the Bloodline, and I agree with the earlier comment.
Finish.
No. I'm only gonna get one of those. Only get one of those. One of those is no. I'm going with the Bloodline, but I'm specifically going if the plan is Solo versus Cody Rhodes, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Like Solo does still feel like a little brother to a lot of people's eyes. I think that he had his best performance on Friday in the Bloodline acknowledgement ceremony, and I think that there is potential for him, but he needs to pin either Cody Rhodes or Randy Orton in this matchup. We can't keep having these. All he's beaten since he became the head of the table is Kevin Owens. And everyone in the Bloodline beats Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is the Bloodline whipping boy at this point. Every member of the Bloodline has beaten him in some form or fashion. Solo has to pin either a 14-time world champion in Randy Orton to eliminate Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, which is everybody's fantasy booking SummerSlam main event. You got to have him pin Cody Rhodes. I understand if you want to protect Cody as WWE champion. That's why I'm giving you the other option of Randy Orton. He has to pin one or the other to get the win to set him up for the SummerSlam WWE championship match.
I understand that, but I kind of feel like it has to be Cody because hear me out. So I understand that this is a new era in WWE. So it has to make sense because like we are all in agreement that Randy Orton will eventually face Cody Rhodes for that championship, right? Because like they're planting the seeds, obviously, like they're gouging your eyes out with that. So if Randy Orton is the one to get pinned, why would he get a championship opportunity at, after he, or maybe that's the reason why, because you're the weakest link in, the match or whatever. You got pinned, which isn't what Cody would say. Just FYI. Cody would absolutely understand. And I kind of feel like Kevin Owens will be the one to get pinned. I'm sorry. I love Kevin Owens. I'm so in love with the guy. Give him everything. I want them to create like 15,000 new title belts just so he can have them. Because obviously they're not giving him the ones that matter. So
death, taxes, and one of the Bloodline members pins Kevin Owens. And this month, it's going to be Jacob Fatu. I don't even think Solo's going to be the one picking up the pinfall on this one. I think it's going to be Jacob Fatu comes in and runs house. Like, I don't even know why we're debating, hey, who's going to be the third person, because it's going to be a 4-on-3 regardless.
Yeah, it will.
But Fatu's going to pick up the pin on old Kevin Owens, and the Bloodline's going to beat the dudes with attitudes or the three best friends that anyone has ever had, and Cody and Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam, and there we have it. Or Cody and Orton. Like, let's just get the Bloodline, and I'd love me some Solo Sikoa. I'm sorry to keep beating the dead horse here, but like, man, let's just do Randy and Cody at SummerSlam. There's your main event. The story writes itself. You can build that in a month and go and have the Bloodline, I don't know, find another group to beat up. Beat up the Judgment Day. Move on. Let's go do some shit.
There might not be a thing towards SummerSlam, sweetie.
Yeah, the Judgment Day is on the fritz, but we'll get into that shortly here. Will Chisholm with a great super chat donation. He says, I'm not trying to be funny, but can Jacob work in Canada? It's a good point because the whole reason why they kept off of his WWE debut is because he couldn't work in France. He couldn't work in Saudi Arabia. He couldn't work in Scotland. Can he go to Canada? We've already been through Bloodline members being unable to go to Canada because of DUIs.
I believe they can.
Okay.
I believe he can, and this is purely going off of my memory of when the Usos were having trouble getting up here. I believe that there's a fine that you can pay that will allow you to travel into Canada. And I think that was always the issue.
So it's all about the money with you guys, not
you
about,
know what,
it's
Maggie?
the law.
Maggie, I hate to break this one to you, brother. Most places, unfortunately, all about the money.
It's all about a dum-dum.
And the base. For some people, it's all about the base. Most places, it's the money.
By the way,
that was the theme of Money in the Bank every year when they used to
it was so bad. That being said, I love the graphics for this year's Money in the Bank. They're so good. They're ridiculously good because I was so pissed off, and bored with, because it's all the same every year with Money in the Bank. It's there and it's money, 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 money. It's stupid. It makes me think about Shane McMahon, and you never want to do that.
Yeah.
I would beg to differ. There are many times that I like to think about Shane McMahon when he's fallen off of a lot of shit. When he came back at WrestleMania last year and called The Miz and Snoop Dogg to call it on the fly. I don't wish injury on anybody, but it did give us Miz versus Snoop. And for that, I remain ever thankful. Shane McMahon continues to give back to the business because that guy unceremoniously sacrificed his entire right leg so that Snoop Dogg could drop a people's elbow.
And what a moment it was.
Shane McMahon cares about the business.
He had Snoop redeem himself for that splash he did in AEW.
What do you mean redeem? What did he mean to redeem himself for with that splash? Right? You have upset my Snoop Dogg.
That's actually really funny because my daughter has been calling Snoopy from Charlie Brown Snoop Dogg.
Good.
Because he's Snoopy and he's a dog.
There you go.
As is tradition.
My daughter is very smart. We got Boggs who says, love this thought. Money in the Bank is a major pay-per-view now. This may have needed a major Cody match. We know one's coming at SummerSlam, but this could just be on SmackDown. No, I think the Bloodline, even working, I think is a PLE matchup because they don't do these Bloodline tag team matchups or trios matchups on SmackDown anymore. It's really for the PLEs. We did one at Backlash, and that was great with Orton and Owens versus Solo and Tama. And I think this one is going to be great, especially if they just decide to throw out all the rules and make it a street fight again. It's going to be a great matchup.
Yes.
And then we got a super chat donation from the one and only Will Chisholm once again. He says, this is training before Cody faces the final boss at WrestleMania 41. Yeah, the overarching kind of story that's been going on since 2023, it's Cody versus the Bloodline in some form or fashion, either Solo, either Roman, either The Rock. He's going to face the Bloodline. You can have 3 months off, but a lot of that 3 months in between, it didn't until AJ Styles did the fake retirement, it felt like Cody was just having challengers of the month. So I will give it that this is a nice kind of continuing of the main rivalry for Cody. I love Boggs in the chat is calling them dudes with attitude, and it says that the Bloodline are the odds favorite, so we are in agreement with the odds here. So let go to the next matchup here, as we're going to talk about the match that Spencer said earlier he's looking forward to the most. Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. It was Seth who made his return to WWE on the Raw following Clash at the Castle, to the surprise of many of us, since Seth had a knee surgery in April. So it only took him 72 days, and then he's back on TV, back in WWE. It was Damian Priest who came out after Seth said he was going to get himself into Money in the Bank and earn his way back to the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest and Seth kind of compared themselves to each other, as they have both won the Money in the Bank. They both went on to cash in the title and win the World Championship at WrestleMania. And now they are facing one-on-one with each other, with Damian challenging Seth. But Seth wanted to raise the stakes the following week, and he said that if he loses Damian Priest, he will never get another opportunity at him as the champion as long as he holds on to that title. Meanwhile, if Seth wins, Damian Priest not only loses the World Heavyweight Championship, he has to stand on his own feet and leave the Judgment Day, in similar fashion to how Seth left the Shield all those years ago. He wants to put Damian Priest in that same scenario, and he called out Priest with the fact that Priest has yet to win a match clean since becoming the World Heavyweight Championship. Not even just championship matches, but also non-title matches. He needed the Judgment Day's help to beat Rey Mysterio, that is about 2 feet shorter than him. He has not won a match. He's either had the Judgment Day, he's either had CM Punk helping him out. Can Damian Priest not only beat Seth, but do it on his own? Or will Seth Rollins not only take the World Heavyweight Championship, but take Damian Priest out of the Judgment Day? Maggie, what do you think about the build to this one? Who do you think wins?
The build's been wonderful. I love Seth, and that's why I'm biased always. Okay, I don't know. So it's would you guys think that Seth stabbing the Shield in the back can kind of be interpreted as abandoning family?
Yes. They
Okay.
called each other brothers.
Okay. So he abandoned his family. I don't see Seth Rollins winning back that championship. I mean, he had it for a long time and he tried his best. The thing is, I don't know if they would have made that stipulation with Priest leaving the Judgment Day if they weren't gonna use it. This is the interesting part here I because I like Seth Rollins so much, and it was a hard and wild ride to be a Seth Rollins fan when he was with that championship because like I feel like it wasn't clicking. Um, so I don't know if the right move here would be to give him the championship back because it's just going to be more of the same. And I wonder if the only way that he can lose is by some shenanigans outside of the ring. And the reason why I asked you if the Shield thing was abandoning family, it's because I wonder if the Wyatt Six aren't thinking of, because like Bray Wyatt had that whole thing with Seth Rollins, killed Seth Rollins' career, by the way, like the feud with the Fiend. I don't know about this one. Again, a really hard thing to predict here. I kind of went. I want both things to happen because everything that Damian Priest said leading to this match. He was like, I don't need the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day need me. And everything that Finn said afterwards. And Damian Priest started, making sense. The Judgment Day needs you now because like you're a tag team champion now. And that's why the other way around was before you got that championship back. They're starting to, to make sense with each other. And I don't know if them splitting up will be a thing. I think that because if Damian Priest leaves the Judgment Day, then the whole thing with Liv Morgan and Finn Balor and the other people in the Judgment Day will be hanging in there because like Damian Priest is the one that's been keeping them in check. If he goes away, everything it's like a chaos thing. And I don't know if it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna pick Damian Priest. Shenanigans will happen, believe me. He pleaded with Finn Balor to stay in the back, not to get involved in a match. So something will happen. This is also Seth Rollins' first match back ever since WrestleMania. He can show some ring rust in kayfabe or whatever. So Damian Priest.
Yeah, you make great points, especially with Finn's involvement in this after the angle and the backstage and the promo that we saw with Finn Balor. He could definitely get involved and maybe screw over Damian Priest. So he's up out of there. And then Finn would naturally be the leader with no Rhea there. So there is a couple of different ways this can go, especially when you consider the fact last year at Money in the Bank, Damian Priest basically coming to ringside screwed over Finn Balor. And that's why he lost to Seth Rollins. So it'd be a year-long story kind of put together there. Spencer, what have you thought about the build? Who do you have winning on Saturday?
I've loved it. I've really, really enjoyed Damian's reign as champion, to be honest with you. And I didn't expect to like it as much as I have, to be quite blunt with you, but I've really, really loved it. So I'm torn as well. This is probably the most, at least on the surface, unpredictable match for me. Even the Money in the Bank ladder match has like a lot of people, or I guess two people, a lot. Two people I'd consider favorites, but Yeah, I'm torn either way on this one. I think it's, to be honest with you, I think it's like who's going to be the person to lose to Gunther at SummerSlam, but
Yes.
neither here nor there right now, right? I'm going to go with Damian Priest, and the only reason I go that route is I think there's still a lot more story to tell with the Judgment Day. I don't think that, even with the slow burn that they've been doing with the breakup, and we all know it's going to go that direction sooner rather than later, I think it'd be too quick. Like it'd be too sudden if Damian Priest was to have to leave the Judgment Day right now, other than, like you were saying, if Finn Balor or someone like that, came to help at ringside and ended up screwing Damian out of the title and his spot. But I don't know. I think Damian retains purely on the fact that the Judgment Day story still has a lot of legs to it as far as how that breakup's going. I think they're going to use this as part of Damian's babyface turn going up against Gunther, who is, I don't say this lightly, but like he's the final boss right now. He's moved into that role that Brock Lesnar used to have, and he's the biggest heel on that side right now. So I think they'll be able to use this as part of Damian's babyface turn and the eventual breakup of the Judgment Day. And again, the fact that I think that Gunther's going to win at SummerSlam, Seth Rollins can never challenge again as long as Damian's champion, which means, at least if things go the way I think they are, that he's not going to be able to challenge for the title for another month. Right. So
Exactly.
I'm going Damian. I wouldn't be shocked if Seth Rollins won. A couple of people even there in the comments were saying that like Seth Rollins versus Gunther is a money match. Absolutely it is.
It is. It is.
I think the same about Damian and Gunther. Again, I'm fairly surprised with how positive I've been on Damian's run so far, but like Gunther's a draw in and of himself. And I think that match will elevate Gunther, elevate the title, elevate Damian Priest, and just be a hell of a match as is. So, yeah. I'm going Priest.
I always wonder what the match placement will be, because like if the men's Money in the Bank match happens before this match, you gotta wonder, right?
Yeah.
I think that this should probably be the main event. Just
suppose,
because
yes.
of what Drew said on Monday, it would make sense for this to be the main event. So there is an opportunity for Drew to cash in. Or if
also they can make Seth winning the belt work if he gets immediately cashed on or on Monday. Like this is, I don't know. Again, this is me telling you this. I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan. I always root for the guy, but it just didn't. It doesn't make sense for me, at least. I'll always be happy if he wins. Seth is always and forever one of my favorites, but I don't know. But Gunther did wonderful. And he was like in that ring for like a minute, and he did wonderful with those 60 seconds. He was like, the better man in this match will be the lesser man at SummerSlam. And I'm like, genius.
He rules. He just rules so
like,
hard.
yeah. I think we're all in agreement. Gunther should win at SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
So, and that's why I'm like, I do agree with a bunch of y'all who saying you want, Seth versus Gunther. That is a bigger matchup, but I agree with Spencer. I've been liking Damian Priest. I feel like the matchup with Drew McIntyre was a turning point. The fact that he had a botch that he made a part of the matchup with his selling of the ankle that had everyone buying a bill of goods that he was injured because of the way he was selling his leg. I think that was a turning point kind of performance by him. I wasn't too into his whole rivalry and matchup with Jey Uso at Backlash, but I was definitely into the build for Drew McIntyre, and I thought the match delivered as well. And I liked the story they put together with Seth Rollins. I mean, the overarching Judgment Day story, I don't really consider it long-term storytelling. I think it's a story that's been told very, very long, because dissension in the Judgment Day has been going on for at least 18 months. It's been very, very long with no payoff. But over the last couple of weeks with Liv Morgan's injection into it, it's become hot again. And also the little interactions between Finn and Damian Priest give me hope that we're finally getting the payoff to the dissension in the Judgment Day story. So I think that you have to keep the title on Priest. You can't have the end of him in Judgment Day in this fashion. Or I mean, the only way I could see that is if Finn is the one that cost him on purpose. But I can see a scenario where Finn tries to cost him, but instead helps him by accident against Seth Rollins. Similar to how Priest last year tried to help him, but screwed him over by accident. I think you turn that around this year, and Priest gets the win over Seth due to Finn Balor being an F-up. Because this is the same guy who could not pick up a briefcase all last summer. All last summer. That was the story of him and Seth.
Yep.
Priest kept trying to help him, but he could not pick up the briefcase, it seemed. So I think it makes sense. Speaking of that briefcase, though, we got the final matchup. We're going to predict here the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I agree with Spencer, with Maggie. This is a very unpredictable in a way, but there is one person that a lot of people are interested in this one, with Drew McIntyre, who advanced in an absolute banger against Ilya Dragunov and Sheamus on Monday. You got LA Knight, who picked up the win on Friday night over Logan Paul and Santos Escobar with the help of Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. You got Carmelo Hayes, who picked up a win over Randy Orton, pinning him in his triple threat match along with Tama Tonga. You got Chad Gable, who overcame the monsters of Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, as well as getting shot in the head the week prior to advance and qualify for this matchup. You got Jey Uso, who pinned Finn Balor and beat Rey Mysterio in his triple threat, and Andrade, who advanced by going past Grayson Waller and Kevin Owens to advance for this Money in the Bank contract. I mean, this is very interesting. Before Drew was in this, I thought it was really unpredictable because of the other guys involved. Jey Uso was a favorite to a lot of people because he was on the poster for Money in the Bank. He's been a guy on the rise, one of the more popular baby faces. Andrade really hasn't had much to do since coming back to WWE. This feels like his first big opportunity. Chad Gable just re-signed with the company, and this might be his signing bonus. Carmelo Hayes is a guy that's taken a lot of losses in the lead up to this, but it feels like this is his first big opportunity. LA Knight was the favorite to win last year to a lot of people, but Drew and his story with CM Punk has a lot of people intrigued of Drew McIntyre, and especially Drew is the guy that a few months back said that he hated Money in the Bank, yet he is in this matchup for the same briefcase he despises. Spencer, what do you think about this field? Who do you have win?
Man, I love this match. Like you said, it's unpredictable. I think that anybody really has a shot at winning it. The nice thing is even with the couple of the favorites, it's, you know, as wrestling fans tend to do, everybody's got a reason they couldn't win it. You know what I mean? Drew McIntyre, for me, he's the clear front runner. I think he feels too easy, but I love the idea of him coming in and cashing in on Damian Priest later in the night and potentially ruining his opportunity there, having Punk screw him in the match. I love the idea of Chad Gable winning it. Why did I pronounce it like that? Chad Gable. I love the idea of him potentially winning it. Him and Gunther already have torn it up. I'd love for him to be able to go at him once again. Jey Uso, same sort of thing, is he seems pretty easy or pretty clear cut as a front runner, but it almost seems too easy to pick him. He's got a storyline he could naturally slide into. Are we going to, I'm picking Sami Zayn to lose the IC title match because they're going to reunite the Bloodline. Does Jey Uso need the Money in the Bank briefcase as part of that, right? So I don't know. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. I think that, there's a lot of neat little parallels in there with Damian Priest if he keeps the championship. I would never complain about Drew and Gunther going one-on-one again either. There's the Punk factor, but I think I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre on this end of things. I would love to see Carmelo Hayes personally, though. I don't think he's going to win it, but I'd love to see Carmelo Hayes. LA Knight just seems like he's set up for Logan Paul at SummerSlam, which, hell yeah, that should be the match. And Andrade, I'd love to see him as well, too, but I don't know. It's been a very, very weird start to Andrade's run back with WWE, and that's a guy that I'm a huge fan of, but it's been an odd start, so I can't just see WWE giving him the win on those merits for whatever those merits may be or may not be worth.
Yeah. Maggie, what do you think of this field? Who do you have winning?
First of all, I hate to say, but Carmelo Hayes and Andrade being the two least relevant people in this match is pissing me off. because like both are amazing, and Carmelo Hayes was one of the biggest things over at NXT, and now he's an afterthought because he has won shit. And Andrade hasn't been featured like whatsoever at all, and I love the guy. I wonder what's been going on, but again, it's probably none of our business. If it is something different than what we are aware of. So this is so hard, man. I'm gonna go with Jey Uso. I feel like the whole yeet in the bank thing that they said this week, they're just waiting for them to make that a selling point. Okay, the t-shirts and briefcases and whatever, like it's right there. If CM Punk has to be at Money in the Bank, okay? Like it's Canada, so he's
Same Canadian CM Punk, yeah.
Yes, big Canadian CM Punk.
That's actually what the C stands for. Canada made.
Canada made Punk.
Adopted Canadian. I mean, he's Bret Hart's son, right?
Bret Hart. That's what I meant.
I think that's Dax Harwood.
No, he's the other
Hey,
one.
they're cousins. They're cousins. Uncle. I don't know.
So, CM Punk. I know it makes sense that CM Punk doesn't get involved here just so Drew McIntyre can win the briefcase, and then when he goes to cash in, CM Punk screws him over. I understand that's more evil if you're if you think about that, but I do kind of feel like they don't have much time on this. If this match is before the Damian Priest and Seth Rollins match, Drew McIntyre can win the briefcase, and then CM Punk screws him over when he cashes in.
Yeah,
everything can happen, but I'm gonna pick Jey Uso because I need to have a definitive answer. Just so I'm picking Jey Uso solely because of the Eat in the Bank thing that they said this Monday. I swear, that is the only reason why I'm picking Jey Uso. I'm not gonna be mad if Drew McIntyre wins. I love Drew. He's said zero lies. Just zero lies.
Drew McIntyre is still the babyface in the storyline.
Yes, he is.
To me, he got screwed twice. Like, he didn't even get his kickback for WrestleMania. He got screwed over twice. CM Punk deserved to get bloodied in his hometown of Chicago. Drew did nothing wrong. He just took the bracelet as a souvenir. He's going to give it back eventually. So
he's a fan of AJ Lee, just like everyone is. Okay?
He's a fan of Larry the dog. I mean, who isn't a fan of Larry the dog?
There is no way. Larry has seen stuff, okay? Brawl in, or whatever. It was Brawl Out.
Yeah,
so he's seen stuff, and now he's a thug, okay? Like, forget about Larry. It's AJ Lee.
Well, we got the line here, the odds here by Boggs. Thank you once again. And it's very interesting, these lines. I like the fact that Drew is the favorite. I agree with that odds, but Andrade being second favorite, that surprises me. I didn't think that Andrade would
where are
be
those
second
odds
favorite.
from? Is that a liquor store? It's like...
Is Carmelo Hayes really a plus 6,000 favorite?
I think he added a zero.
I'll be throwing $5 on there if that's the line at the very least. But I'm shocked at Jey Uso, to be honest with you. But I don't know. It's one of those weird things where it's like, is that too predictable and you sort of work yourself out of it? Yeah. I think the Jey Uso's in that box for me. I wouldn't be shocked by any means, but like.
But you made an excellent point, Spencer, that all these people have like a reason why they're not going to win. Like LA Knight, he's going to be facing Logan Paul at SummerSlam, and we don't want another Money in the Bank winner to cash in on the U.S. Championship again. That went terribly wrong for the first guy. Chad Gable, he is bound to be Uncle Howdy'd out of this, or the lights cut off just as he's about to touch the briefcase. Jey Uso can naturally get into the Bloodline story, so it leaves the three of Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, and Drew McIntyre. And out of that field, I would say that Drew would be the favorite to win, and especially if the match, like Maggie said, is before the World Heavyweight Championship matchup. It's like, just do it. You're already going to have one person. Like, I think Logan Paul gets involved in this when LA Knight is about to touch the briefcase. He pushes it over. So we only need one person to interfere in this. We don't need Punk to interfere in this matchup. So I am going to go with Drew McIntyre to win the briefcase, and then Punk screws him over for a third time as he's about to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and gives some extra embarrassment, as he will only be the fourth guy ever to
just
fifth guy.
Like that's so beautiful. Like just that's a good little tee-hee for us wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And Punk can say, I've cashed in twice. You've been cashed in on twice, and you couldn't even cash in once properly because of me.
Yeah, that is exact. I mean, like, they're doing it with the women all the time. Either way, make the women hold the briefcase for a while, and then the men cash in the same night.
There's nowhere for the women to cash in tonight. You absolutely cannot do it.
Exactly.
If there was ever a time that I would hope that there wasn't a women's match on the card, it would be for Money in the Bank, because now whoever wins tonight is guaranteed to be at least the third longest Money in the Bank holder on the women's side.
Exactly. There you go.
Guaranteed.
The one guarantee we got on the night is that the women's Money in the Bank will not be cashed in.
And Fatu will pin Kevin Owens.
Someone from the Bloodline will pin Kevin Owens. The two guarantees that we got from the show.
Taxes, third longest briefcase holder. Kevin Owens takes a pin at the expense of the Bloodline.
Well, that brings us to an end on our predictions, on our preview here. I want to thank my esteemed panel here. What is the dog's name? I want to properly say this.
So did you? His name is Ripperoo. Did you ever play like
Ripperoo.
the Crash? Yeah, Crash Team Racing.
I have.
So like the crazy kangaroo. That's this little dude right here.
Love it. I got to give the little dude his center stage, as well as Spencer. Spencer, please let everybody know where they can follow you and Ripperoo.
Thank you. Hey, that rhymed. Nicely done. You can follow me at Spenny Love, but if you're going to follow me, follow everybody at Love Wrestling CA. You can find us wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome content created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA across pretty well every social media platform. If you've got it, chances are we're on it. So come hang out. We got a lot of great stuff coming up, like I said, off the bat, from Money in the Bank weekend and beyond. So come hang out. We'd appreciate it. It'd be lit and fun, as the kids are saying.
Absolutely.
No kids are saying this.
Kids are still saying lit and fun, I believe. I think.
And
right?
Maggie might not be saying lit and fun and might not like Braun Breaker's theme, but we always love having you on. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
I mean, might as well. Lit and fun. I am drenched in ice and grumpy. So that is. Guys,
all right.
You can follow me on Twitter at Maggie_IK and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. Please subscribe to Fightful Select. You will not regret this. Easily the best $5 that you're going to spend on wrestling news. It is totally worth it. Both Sean and Corey Brennan will be busting their ass this weekend for all of wrestling watchers and enjoyers. Please, you can catch me every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fightful Overbooked for Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. Also, you can catch Rob tomorrow on the Spotlight with Steven Jensen because Jeremy does not want to show up for work. I'm kidding. He's at Money in the Bank, right? I'm sure that he's at Money in the Bank. And Rob will be hosting tomorrow's Spotlight with Steven Jensen. It's going to be a really nice time. So, yes, please subscribe, support us, and also please support True Heel Heat and Love Wrestling. There are a bunch of wonderful people, rays of sunshine, just like me. Not a puzzled whore or whatever it says here. That is
I just keep that too.
Yeah, there's a story behind that, but it's how much time do we have? So
Well, you can explain that the next time we have you on, because I'm gonna call you once again for another one. I'm gonna call Spencer Love for another one because this was a lot of fun. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat, $3 a month. Best place where you can support us when we are not live here and doing content, but we got plenty of content for you to enjoy right now, like our Forbidden Door review from earlier this week. We also got Rated Raw review from yesterday, the luckiest girl in the world. So you can check that out right now as well. And I will be over on Fightful tomorrow night with the ROH review. So go over and subscribe to there. Like Maggie said, go support Fightful Select, Fightful the main channel, Fightful Overbooked, Love Wrestling CA, because they're going to have plenty of great content because Money in the Bank is in Toronto. And we got one more pay-per-view preview or PLA preview this week. And I will be joined once again by someone from Fightful, as Corey Brenner will be joining me on Friday for the NXT Heatwave preview. So join us live for that. And I'll be back here live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time on AE Ramble, reviewing tonight's AEW Dynamite. And tomorrow on AE Ramble, I will announce that we got a big interview that is dropping here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that and hit the bell to stay notified. But thank you to everyone watching. Thank you to Spencer Love. Thank you to Maggie. This has been our WWE Money in the Bank 2024 preview. Thank you so much to King Graphics 12 for the great thumbnail here. But we will see you next time. Later, y'all.